We are growing up in a fatherless generation. The authority and the influence of the father in the household has been under massive attack. With the rise of feminism and women going into the workforce, the role of the dad, the provider, the protector, has been mismatched and skewed, muddied. Women from a very young age have been indoctrinated into believing that they don't need no man, and so therefore when the time comes for them to raise a family, more often than not in relationships, when you have major issues, while in the past the couple would look to resolve the issues within their own family unit, women and the toxic influences that they have around them will just tell them, you don't need him, honey, and the father will be cast out of the household. And that leaves 1, 2, 3, 4, however many children without a strong dad in the house. And that's not the only attack vector. They're also just attacking masculinity in general. There's more and more young men who literally are spending their entire days like fucking playing video games and smoking vapes and having kids. And once again, these couples are like very psyoped and very depolarized as well. They share the exact same responsibilities rather than playing into each other's strengths and weaknesses. And what this leads to is young men feeling more lost and more misguided than ever, because at no point throughout our entire human history have we been told that our gender roles are the exact same. And I know I risk rustling a few feathers here, but if you're finding yourself getting offended by this, you're either 1, far too gone, honestly, far too gone, I'm not even speaking to you, or 2, you might be a victim of this yourself, but you might just be misdirecting your anger towards me. But with young men feeling more misguided than ever, this is where self-improvement usually comes in, which has seen a massive boom in the last few years, and it's no wonder why. Because after watching some self-improvement creators on YouTube, for the first time in a young man's life, they might feel a sense of masculine guidance, because perhaps in this young man's household the father was either absent for whatever reason, or the father was so psyoped into believing that playing his masculine role inside of the relationship and within the family unit was a toxic bad thing. And it's wholesome as fuck, honestly. The fact that men can come onto the internet, turn their cameras on and just pass down their learning lessons to the next generation of young guys, I think is so fucking awesome, and it's very important work. But this is where an issue arises, where traditional masculine guidance would offer one-to-one personalized advice to young men. Self-improvement as a message as a whole is sent out in mass to everyone. The same rules apply to everyone. And don't get me wrong, there are general rules of thumbs as to what makes a good, strong man. But at the same time, there's so much nuance which is lost in this mass pushing out of self-improvement. Let me put it this way. How many of you have heard you have to step into an MMA gym and you have to learn how to fight to become a strong man? Because even myself, okay, I've been guilty of pushing this message. And don't get me wrong, I don't think it's a bad thing for you to step into an MMA gym. I actually think it's a fucking incredible thing. The issue comes in where it starts to like black pill some people. Because in life, I truly believe, you might call me black pill for this, funnily enough, but like I truly believe we have strengths and cards to play. We're dealt a fucking hand, okay? And it's up to us to play our strongest fucking cards in our hand. And I also truly believe that if you try to be a jack of all trades and you try to do everything at an average level, guess what? You're going to be an average person. Every extraordinary person you know, you can think of right now, literally like autistically one-tricked one thing, got incredible at it, and that's where people got to know them. And then perhaps, okay, they might have leveled up in other areas as well. But life is a balance is a complete fucking lie. Life is usually autistically obsessing over one key facet of your life. And then once you've got to a level where that is like AFK for you and you can just do it easily, then you can autistically obsess over the next thing. And that's where you find a sense of balance. You don't try to do everything at the same time. And look, some of us might have a natural ability towards fucking violence. If you look at someone like Khamzat Chimaev, who entered the UFC, and just after like a year of training MMA, he just fucking blitzed through the first few fights he had. And these are UFC fucking fighters. This guy's no joke. His first 3 fights, he got hit 3 times overall. That is crazy. That is a guy who is playing to his fucking strengths, isn't it? But at the same time of you being told that you have to learn to fight as a man, it is very important to fight. If you can't fight, you're no man at all. That completely and utterly disregards the fucking strengths which you possibly do have, which if you actually doubled down on and went all in on, that is actually how you become extraordinary. I'll just be honest, I'm talking about myself now, okay? Everyone would tell me, Sam, you have to fight. You're not a man if you can't fight. I don't think that's where my strengths lie. Okay, I don't. What I could do for the next 9 months is I could focus all in on fighting, okay? And I could become a bang average fighter at best. At best, honestly. I'm probably still gonna be like low tier as fuck, okay? Or I can spend my next 9 months obsessing over something which I can excel at and become extraordinary at, which is content production. I can continue doing this. I can continue using my strengths, which is my emotional intelligence, my brain, my ability to perform on camera and explain ideas in a relatable manner. And that would actually push me so much further in life than if I was to just become a low tier bang average fighter. Because I've been told so many times by people, Sam, you have to have a fight, you have to have a fight. And I don't disagree, I think it would be cool and there'd be a lot of character development there, but I don't think that's what sets me apart. I really fucking don't. And you see this in wartime scenarios as well. Like, imagine if at war you only had the guys who are like just geared towards violence, right? There would be no organization, there'd be no strategy, it'd be a fucking mess. It'd be a complete mess. You get factions and people play to their fucking strengths, even in times of great distress such as war. You get the generals who still get their fucking hands dirty. I'm not saying I'll never step into an MMA gym and get my nose popped, okay? I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is I shouldn't fucking, like, lean into it, right? But they play to their strengths. The generals that'll generally stand back and fucking organize shit so that they can actually win the fucking war. And then you've got women playing to their strengths. They're usually very nurturing and caring, so they play nurses. Like, this is, like, such an obvious thing which seems to go over a lot of dudes' heads when they turn their camera on, and I get it. You want to be polarizing on camera. You want to speak with conviction. You want to believe in what you're saying. But this does lead to the issue of like a lot of young men feeling led astray and also kind of just black-pilled and nihilistic when they realize like, oh yeah, I am not worthy of love after all because I am not as good as punching other people as the guy on the internet says I should be. For example, I wish I could go back in time and just see younger Sam who would continually show up to MMA gyms and just get the shit kicked out of him every single time. And he's just continuing to just run uphill and like really struggle to pick this up. Like the furthest thing to a natural you could possibly imagine when it comes to fucking MMA. And I wish I could just give him a hug and say, you know what, Sam, fucking well done. You're showing up. Continue to show up, bro. It's good. This is good character development for you. But for fuck's sake, Sam, do not place your self-esteem on this, bro, because this is not your strength. This is not where you should fucking find your sense of pride. This is not where you should find your sense of value that you can give to your tribe, because quite frankly, you're the fucking worst at it, bro. This is not your strength. I don't know what the fuck happened when you were born. You put all of your skill points into intelligence like a fucking nerd rather than physicality, okay? This shit's just not for you, bro, okay? But please, for the love of God, continue to show up. It's good. You do have to be willing to fight. That is true. That is true. You do have to be willing to fucking fight. Whether you can fight well or not, doesn't matter. When push comes to shove, when someone's coming in your space, attacking what's yours, attacking your values, your morality, trying to take your shit, you need to fucking throw a punch. That is true. And yes, it does help if you're fucking decent at it, okay? But quite frankly, the way the world is going, most of the time when you want to defend your shit, like fights are never fair. They're never fucking fair, let's be honest. It's very rare where you have a mutual disagreement with someone and you agree to fisticuffs. Put them up, boy, put them up. No, it's usually like, I'm gonna fucking jump you with my boys and kick you to the ground and then stab you 6 times. So like, honestly, is it that important that you can throw your fucking Muay Thai high kick? Like, I don't know, dude. It doesn't hurt. There's gonna be scenarios, especially in like nights out scenarios where like, yeah, throwing a punch and having a good 200-meter dash is like a pretty fucking solid skill to have, but it's not as high ROI as you might think now, because like, bro, motherfuckers just have guns nowadays. Look at Moist Critical. He'll just pull out the fucking blicky, bro. It doesn't matter how fucking good I can fight. He'll just shoot me dead. So trying to lead young men astray from playing into their strengths so that they can become mediocre at best fighters is a massive issue. And that is just a symptom of the main issue with self-improvement content, and that is lack of nuance. Essentially, people are teaching their blueprint which worked for them, but not necessarily thinking about why it worked for them. Because let's be honest, a lot of the content people make in terms of self-improvement is fucking lazy, and it does lack nuance. They're not thinking about how to make the best fucking value possible. They're usually thinking about, oh shit, I didn't upload today, I need to upload. So you don't get like this fucking sense of nuance. You get someone coming on camera and be like, yeah, you should be strong and you should fight. But outside of that, it's just like, what I'm saying is, don't allow self-improvement creators to make you feel inadequate for struggling with a certain area of development, okay? You should absolutely strive to be your best in every area possible. I truly believe that. But be careful where you place your sense of self-worth, okay? You should play into your strengths. And if you was to put all of your self-worth into your ability to fight, bro, guess what? You're gonna get older and older, lower T. You're not gonna be able to be a fucking fighting machine your entire life. Luckily for you, when you get older, you can still just carry a gun. Same with looks. Your looks are gonna depreciate. Be very careful where you place your sense of self-worth, guys. The moment this clicked for me was so random, actually. I was in a cafe after my gym workout, and I was actually speaking to a friend of mine who I hadn't seen for like a year. And he said to me like, Sam, I don't think you're playing to your strengths. When I picture you, Sam, I picture the general behind the front line commanding where the men go and how the operation should be played out. And that analogy literally straight away, just like it made so much sense to me all of a sudden. Like, why the fuck am I trying to appease other men's image of me by doing something which I'm not innately fucking good at, and I'm just swimming upstream, when the reality is I have options available to me where I can just excel at and become fucking incredible at. And if I was to do that, I would get far better results. I want you guys to take advice from videos like this, like tools in your toolbox, okay? It's not gospel. Even the shit I say, I am not God, I am not Jesus Christ, okay? It is not gospel. I'm just sharing with you what I know. I am just a earthly being who also sins, okay? But what I do want you to think about is like, maybe this tool that Sam is giving me in this video can be utilized in this way. Maybe I can use it for this aspect of my life. Not just literally copy and pasting it into your own existence, because it might not fucking fit your shit, bro. You might have a different issue to me. You might need a wrench and I've just handed you a fucking Allen key or some shit. I don't know. There's always nuance to these things, and that is why back and forth conversation is so important. Speaking of which, here's Discord message of the day. And if you want to have back and forth conversations with young men who are on self-development, you can join over 2,000 members inside of the trenches today. Link in the description. And if you want to learn how to make money online from the comfort of your bedroom or traveling the world with your laptop, I teach over 500 of my students how to do exactly that. And as you can see on the screen here, we are getting excellent results inside of my academy. You could be next. Take care, boys.